And like I said, so that's what you want to do is if somebody is claiming, and who helped a lot with that, Chappie. Chappie was real good like that too with me when he was basically saying who penned the document. So who was penning the document? Who took the pen in their hand and they said, Miss North New Jersey, you owe X, Y, and Z. You go after that man who put his name on the bottom of that document. And you say, good, you're going to stand under oath of affirmation in a common law court of record, and you're going to swear that I owe this amount of money. And you're going to be like, well, I'm an attorney. I can't claim that. And if you're off, like my mom told me, she said, you know, if I'm wrong, my mom was an IRS agent, if I was off by 1 penny, and I demanded from a man to pay $89,612.17, and he only owed 16 cents, she said that's a federal felony. She said I go to prison for a long time because that's fraud and extortion. Because I'm telling somebody to pay something, and if it's off by 1 penny, it's fraud and it's extortion. So who's ever coming up with these crazy numbers throwing at you, he better be to the penny perfect. And he better be able to testify on the oath of affirmation. And like I said, if you go back to Angela's talk show things, I don't remember what episode she did it on, but Mr. Cherry, like a black man from New York and New Jersey, he shows you how to knock the attorney from the county, the state, the DMV, from the IRS, from the Visa, right out of the picture. So then you're standing in an empty courtroom because they're sure there's an attorney. They might have 100 attorneys there. The best case that I always tell people all the time, everybody remembers George Bush versus Al Gore in 2000 with the hanging chair in Florida, right? This was a very simple case. They went to the United States Supreme Court. The United Supreme Court had ruled on that thing in less than 5 minutes because Al Gore, even though, like I said, his daddy owned Occidental Oil and Al Gore's a billionaire and he was the standing vice president of the United States, he was the vice president at the time they went before the Supreme Court. And he said, oh, well, you have hanging chairs, and look, we got millions and millions of hanging chairs, so I really won the election. They drove up to the United States Supreme Court with tractor trailers full of hanging chairs. They had hundreds, thousands, millions of attorneys on Al Gore's side to present their case to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, is there one man who's willing to stick his hand in the Bible before the Supreme Court and said that his right was interfered with to vote because of a hanging chair, and can that man pick out one ballot out of that tractor trailer and identify that ballot as his and prove that that is his hanging chair on that ballot? And the attorneys try to use up all this legalese stuff and millions of documents and all kinds of court cases and codes and citations. And Scalia just asked them, is there one man? Just find me some like black guy from Miami, a homeless guy, who wants to come here in the Supreme Court and claim that his right to vote was interfered with by a machine. Until you bring that man forward to the Supreme Court, Al Gore, you have no case. Now, you go back to Florida and let them do whatever they want to do. But I'm telling you right now, you have no standing before the Supreme Court of the United States because there needs to be an injured party. So if you actually read the Al Gore versus George Bush case with the United States Supreme Court, there was no injured party. They had no case.
Well, you're saying that if the attorney doesn't have the principal there standing beside him willing to
that's right.
testify,
there has to be an injured party.
That I owe him the money.
That's right. He's going to have to swear that he's going to have to swear that his right to his property has been interfered with by your actions or your inactions. And there's nobody who's going to be able to say, my name is Suffolk County, and because she didn't pay me the money that she promised me, I couldn't buy my kid a G.I. Joe doll with a Kung Fu grip this Christmas, so she's injured me. Nobody's going to be able to do it. They don't have a case. So don't answer their case as a defendant. Go back and listen to this thing. Make your own case that they're filing a false claim against you because there's going to be no injured party who's going to stand in their court.
Do I put that into the same court?
No. Oh, yeah. You can put it in the same court because anybody in a
In other words, don't answer their claim.
Well, if they're claiming
do my own.
Well, if you do want to make an answer, say, I believe you're filing a false claim. And if you don't, you could say that you believe that they're filing a false claim against you. And, yes, they might have the codes, and, yes, they might have all kinds of stuff on the books that says this and that, but you still believe it's a false claim. You don't have to believe in Santa. You don't have to believe whatever they want to believe. You have your right to believe whatever you want. And this is what always gets people in trouble all the time. Thank God you asked me that question. Because I hear all these people saying, oh, well, they have no facts. They have no facts. They have no facts. Never, never argue the facts. When a policeman wants to say I did 900 miles an hour backwards down the street, on my roof, tires squealing, okay, I believe you. You have the right to believe whatever you want. Those are your beliefs. Now, I have the right to believe that unless there's an injured party, you have no case. And I actually won. I was trying to find that case number so I could give it to you guys. It was a Virginia case. And the judge actually was going to make me lose. And he was actually going to fine for the police. He was going to fine for the deputy sheriff. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. What does the law say, sir? And he said, what law? I said, what law? Your law. And he started to read the law. Because I said I wanted to hand him the law, but he had a laptop on his desk, so he flipped it open. He says, the Virginia Code, like 16.1363. What we're here today for? Me driving in reverse. What does it say? And he says, well, it's illegal to drive in the Commonwealth of Virginia in reverse. He says it's a first offense, it's a $50 fine, 1 point off your license. Second offense, it's a $100 fine, and 3 points on your license. Third time is $500 fine and suspension of a license for a year. I said, oh, now what does the law say? He said, that is the law. I said, sir, read the footnote. What does the footnote say? He read the footnote. He says, it's lawful to drive in reverse in the Commonwealth if, and then he goes, blah, 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 blah. Huh. Case dismissed. I said, no, it's discharged, but I'm not going to get into semantics now. I got things to do. I said, this thing could have been settled weeks ago when I presented the bill back, the summons back, the ticket back to the prosecuting attorney, but he said, he just laughed at me, and he said, the law says that you can't do it. I said, no. What the judge first read was, it's illegal to drive in reverse. What did the Code of Virginia of 1950 say in the footnotes? That it's lawful to drive as long as I do not cause an injury or damage to man or property. There you go. I said it's on the footnote of every damn driving violation in your book. So I said, it was so funny, man, because the prosecuting attorney, his last name was I don't remember his name, Dove, a pigeon. It was a silly name. But so I'm going home. So it's so funny when I looked at all the state troopers sitting there with their little nice hats on their laps. I said to them, I said, you know what, sirs? I said, if my truck caught on fire, you'd be the first ones to pull me out. God bless you. I love you all. I said, but you know, every time you interfere with a man's right to travel, you're breaking the law. It might be legal what you're doing, but it's unlawful what you're doing. So I said, goodbye, folks. So I left the courthouse, and the deputy ran out and said, I've never lost. He said, I'm the traffic code enforcement officer of the county. I teach all the recruits. How did you beat me? I said, because the judge read the law. She said, what law? I said, you read it. I said, I tried to give you the paper in court, and you laughed at me. You wouldn't read the law. I said, so you read it. I said, oh, while we're standing out here, let me give you notice. The next time I come through this county doing 90 miles an hour, no, 900 miles an hour, and I'm doing it in reverse, and I'm reckless, and I'm going all over the freaking road. I said, if you ever interfere again with my right to travel, I'm going to sue you in your official and individual capacity. I said, I'm going to lean you up in this county for everything you got. I said, so next time you see me come through, you remember my white Camaro? Just wave high. And he's like, how are you going to do it? I said, I know the law. I said, have a good day. So I said, I beat you once, I'll beat you again. So he's like, holy cow. So like I said, man, when you know the law and know how to deal with the common law compared to the legal codes, you'll win every time. If we were in Italy or France, or we'd lose. I would lose all the time, like that poor girl who got arrested for killing her roommate in Italy. And it was a big trial. It was like she had lived with a black guy, roommate, whatever. And her parents were like, the court system here in Italy is upside down. My daughter's guilty, and she's got to prove she didn't do it. I said, there you go. You're in a code world. That's the code world. You're guilty, and you got to prove you're innocent. And that's what they're trying to do here in America. They're trying to make this a code society, that we're all guilty, and we've got to prove that we don't owe the tax. No, you've got to prove, this is common law still, and you have to prove I do, because there's an injured man or woman standing on that side saying, if I don't pay this money, they're not going to be able to support their family. So you're going to need to bring the injured party. This is still a common law land, but they're trying to bring the English, European style of court system into this land. And if we're not going to win by voting for Barack, we're not going to win by elections. You know, we're not going to win by getting a good governor who's in the office or a good congressman. The only way we're going to win is by the courts. And the only way we're going to win in the court is if we rely upon the Ninth Amendment and rely upon the Seventh Amendment. And it says we have the rights, long antecedent before this government was established, that we had the right to live on our Gilligan's Island and have everybody judge us. We have the right to have a trial by jury of our peers. The government can't infringe with that right. I want a trial by my jury of my peers, and I need the injured party to come forth and testify under oath of affirmation